My wife mysteriously fell ill right before our honeymoon, only for me to discover she was dining with another man at a candlelit penthouse lounge. Being me, 31-year-old Richard Anderson, working as a software architect at Horizon Technologies. Making good money, living the dream life in Boston. Trust is the hardest thing to earn. Even harder to get back once it's broken. Someone who betrays once will do it again. Unfortunately, my wife didn't understand this. She broke my trust. It's unforgivable. Sometimes you need to let people go, otherwise things get messy. Standing silently at the table in the restaurant, my wife's face turns pale, her mouth hanging open. Never seen her look less attractive. Matthew starts to stand up. I gesture for him to stay seated. Matthew, stay where you are. You're safe while sitting. But if you stand, we'll have a problem. Don't want to cause drama. Sorry to interrupt your private moment, Linda. Can't believe you faked being sick to avoid our weekend. Just to be with this worthless guy. You know there's no one I hate more than Matthew Wilson. This place meant everything to us. La Marina restaurant where we first met, where I proposed, where we shared countless happy moments. Now it means nothing. Just like her. On our wedding day, she made 2 promises. I will never hurt you. I will never make you stop loving me. Well, those promises are broken now. First, I'm deeply hurt. Second, my love is disappearing like morning fog. She knows me better than anyone, knows how I process things. I observe. I analyze. I find solutions. Looking at the situation now. She's here with Matthew. Clearly wants to date other men. As her husband, I can't allow that. Solution is simple. Remove myself from the equation. She's free to date whoever she wants now. Hope it was worth it. Turn to leave. Matthew, this isn't over. We'll meet again. Walk quickly to the exit. Cross Washington Street. Turn toward the lobby of the Regal Hotel. Hide myself to watch what happens. Linda frantically looks around. Can't find me anywhere. Eventually gives up. Hails a taxi. Heads north towards our penthouse. Few blocks away from here. I'm hurt but slightly satisfied. At least I ruined their evening. And she cared enough to look for me, hoping to find me at home. She won't. Wait a few more minutes to see what Matthew would do. Watch him get a taxi. He heads in the opposite direction. Decide to stay at the Regal for a few days. Need time to sort out my life. Walk in and get myself a room. You're probably wondering how we got here. Let me tell you the whole story. I'm Richard Anderson. My wife's name is Linda. Got my degree from Stanford. Landed a job at Horizon Technologies right after. Company develops advanced software solutions. Boss is Robert Greene. Owns the whole company. Actually a decent guy to work for. Climbed the ranks pretty fast. Really good at what I do. At the second company Christmas party, Robert introduces me to Linda. She's his goddaughter. Daughter of his best friend. Pretty sure he planned to set us up. Glad he did. Ever heard of love at first sight? That's exactly what happened. Linda completely captivated me. Not just stunning beauty. She was brilliant, funny. Everything I could have dreamed of fell hard for her instantly. We clicked right away, never looked back. Like I mentioned before, the party was at La Marina, became our special place. 3 months later, Saturday evening date at the same spot. Got down on one knee, asked her to marry me. She jumped into my arms, said yes without hesitation. Got married. Life just kept getting better. Both our careers were taking off. Celebrated with dinner parties at our place. Wedding was in 2011. Everything felt perfect for a while. About 6 months ago, started feeling something was off. Honeymoon phase was fading. No, it can't last forever, but hoped it would. Pretty sure there wasn't any cheating, but you always have that nagging doubt. Just felt like the spark was gone. Decided to take action. Started planning a surprise trip. My close friend and former roommate, Peter Harrison, works with his father, William, at their software company. They're clients of Robert's company. I travel to their offices in Detroit regularly. Made plans around one of my trips. Idea was for Linda and me to have dinner in Detroit. Friday night with Peter, William, and their wives. Charlotte and Marie. Had a quick business meeting planned for Saturday morning. Then surprise trip to Niagara Falls. Just the 2 of us for a couple days. Coming back to Boston Monday night. Wanted to rekindle our connection. Linda seemed hesitant about the trip. Didn't know about Niagara Falls part. Had to convince her to come. Friday morning comes. Wake up to find Linda's not in bed. Search around the house. Find her asleep in spare bedroom. Linda, are you awake? She stirs a bit. Richard, I got sick during the night. Moved to spare room to not disturb you. Feeling really unwell. Need more rest. Could you call my office? Tell them I won't be in today. Did what she asked. Headed to work. Around 10 o'clock. Called to check on her. Said she was still feeling bad. Guess I'll have to go to Detroit alone then. She doesn't respond. End the call. Immediately dial Peter. Tell him about the change of plans. Discuss what to do. Peter suggests something different. Since Linda's sick, maybe cancel Detroit altogether. Both couples could come to Boston instead. Friday night? Then Saturday could be shopping day, along the Rose Boulevard. If Linda feels better, we could all have dinner Saturday evening. Brilliant idea. Tell him I'll make reservations at the Regal Hotel for them. Meet at La Marina across the street. Dinner at 6 p.m. Cancel my flight. Cancel Detroit Hotel. Cancel all Niagara Falls arrangements. Disappointing, but sometimes plans change. At 3 p.m., try calling Linda again. Check if she's up for dinner. Get busy signal. Caught up in my presentation prep. Forget to call back. Finally at 5:30 p.m. Rush out of office. Try one more time. Get voicemail. Leave message about our plans. Take taxi to La Marina. Meet the Harrisons. Having cocktails at our table. Before dinner arrives, Peter suddenly looks troubled. Richard, I hate to tell you this. Something really bad is happening. Linda just walked in. She's with another man. They're sitting behind you. To your left near the wall. I'm so sorry, Richard. Turn slowly in my chair. Need to see for myself. There's Linda. With someone else. Can barely call him a man. It's Matthew Wilson. I hate him. Always will. Let me explain why. He left my sister Sophia at the altar. Showed up at her door 2 days later. I don't want to marry you. That's all he said. 3 weeks later, see his marriage announcement in the paper. 5 months after that, birth announcement follows. Sophia was devastated. Never really recovered. That's why I call him Matthew. Why I hate him so much. But back to now. Completely stunned. Can barely form words. Just stuttering. See the sympathy on everyone's faces? Finally managed to speak. Well, isn't that something? Can't continue dinner with you all. Can't ignore what we're seeing. You four enjoy your evening. Now let's meet for breakfast tomorrow. 9:30 a.m. in the hotel coffee shop. I'll be in a better state by then. Obviously, Linda and I won't join you tomorrow night. I'm truly sorry about this. Hug the women. Embrace both men. They're old friends after all. Walk toward the table, where my wife is sitting. Pretty sure Peter is following. Few steps behind, making sure everything's okay. No, it won't be. Appreciate his concern anyway. That brings us back to the confrontation I mentioned earlier. Now I'm in my room at the Regal. Turned off my cell phone earlier. Decide to turn it back on. Numerous messages from Linda. Like others in my position, delete them all unheard after deleting final voicemail. Phone rings again. Ignore it. Let it go to voicemail. Don't want to hear anything she has to say. Delete that message too. Turn phone off again. Saturday morning comes. Meet Peter and William to discuss business. Guys, I expect big changes in my life. Not sure what kind yet. Before signing the new contract from Robert, would appreciate if you could hold off. Need time to figure out my marriage and job situation. You know Robert's connection to Linda's family. Might affect our arrangement. Might be better options for you later. If not, I understand. Maybe stay month to month with Robert. Until my future's clearer. What do you think? They answer together. Richard, will do what you ask. We're with Robert because of you. If things change, we're on your side. Just tell us what you need. We're here to support you. Feel tears coming. Hug them both tight. Women come into restaurant. Time to send husbands shopping. Charlotte grins. Come on, darling. Your credit card needs exercise. I'll warm it up for you. Marie joins in. Hope Williams' cards can handle the heat. Going to swipe them until they melt. Not often we get to shop Rose Boulevard. Despite everything. Can't help but laugh. Know they're teasing their husbands. Trying to lift my spirits. Really appreciate it. Exchange hugs. They leave. Consider going to office. Sort things out. Think better of it. Robert might be there on Saturday. Linda might expect me there. Decide to stay away. Handle tasks early Sunday instead. Spend rest of Saturday. Lost in a book I picked up. Next day, head to office. Organize some things. Plan what I need to do Monday morning. Return to hotel room. Grab Boston Herald. Look through apartment listings. No, I can't stay at the Regal forever. Need other options. Find a few possibilities. Make some calls. Schedule viewings for Tuesday morning. Everything arranged. Relax a bit. Watch some football. Monday morning arrives. Visit my attorney. Kenneth's been my lawyer since I moved to Boston. Ask if he'd have issues representing me. In divorce case, absolutely not, Richard. But hard to believe you're divorcing Linda. Your love for her is unlike anything I've seen. Respond to him. Kenneth, keyword here is love. It's past tense now. Because I don't love her anymore. If you'd rather not represent me, fine. But please don't represent Linda either. He agrees. Prefer not to represent either of you. Think you should try to work it out. But if you can't or won't, you should see Vincent Thompson. He'll handle your case well. Please try to resolve it, though. Thank him for referral. No chance of reconciliation, Kenneth. Simply don't love her anymore. Meet with Vincent. Says he can have paperwork ready. By end of day Tuesday, Linda will be served Wednesday morning. Next task is bank. Get cashier's check. Half of our savings account. Keep all funds in checking account. Bills to pay until divorce final. Linda and I had specific agreement. Each contributed fixed amount monthly for operational expenses, plus designated amounts for dining, entertainment, and household items fund accumulated significantly. Always contributed more than spent. Leave it untouched. Cover expenses until divorce settled. We both put about $500 monthly into savings for vacations and holidays. Take my 50% share of that. Rest of our earnings were separate to invest and use as we pleased. My investment account, her investment account, totally separate. Different brokers. Don't know value of her account. She doesn't know mine. We each managed our 401k plans independently. Only shared monthly deposit info for checking and savings accounts. Head to different local bank. Open new accounts for myself. Deposit part in checking, part in savings. Handle few other financial matters, like insurance. Decide it's time to address things at office. Arrive at office. Ashley at reception tells me, Robert wants to see me right away. Think to myself, here we go. Knock on his door. Come in, Richard, close the door. Just got a call from Linda. What's going on? Tell him whole story. What's your plan now? Reply simply, going to divorce her. What do you think? Like Robert, but he can be arrogant. Becomes obvious immediately. No, Richard, you're not. You're going to tough it out. Reconcile with your wife. Can't divorce her and work here. Those are your options. Fix things with Linda or you're terminated. Started recording on my phone. Already expecting this. Robert, are you suggesting my worth to company depends on marital status? Has my work been unsatisfactory? Have I violated company policies? Richard, you've been valuable, always followed rules, helped shape them. But Linda, my goddaughter, says unless you reconcile, I have to let you go. Do you understand? Feel pressured, but plan to shift dynamic. Hide my smile. Reply somberly. Then Robert, make it official, because I'm ending things with Linda. He looks surprised. Disappointed. Richard, you're terminated. Asked security to escort me to my office for belongings. Anticipated this. Already removed most things Sunday. No, Robert, well, get to my office. Or former office now. Only few items left. Pack them in small box. From storage room. About to leave. Robert stops me. Richard, what about this picture? Wedding photo. Linda in her beautiful gown. Have to admit, I looked good in tuxedo too. Feel tears coming. Ah yes, always like that frame. Pick up picture. Remove back. Drop photo in trash. Keep frame. Put it in my box. Turn to leave. Linda's standing there. Looks shocked. Tears streaming down face. Clearly saw me trash wedding picture. Understands what it means. Asks quietly. Richie, can we talk? Pause briefly. Linda, nothing to discuss. You've betrayed me. Or were about to. Broke both wedding day vows. Hurt me deeply. Shattered my heart. Done something that killed my love. As saying goes, can't mend broken heart. What's left? Think I can overlook your infidelity? You know how much I hate Matthew. For what he did to Sophia, yet you chose him to cheat with. Expect us to save marriage? No, Linda, nothing more to say. Walk outdoor of my workplace. And Linda's life, over 3 weeks. Work many hours each day on my programs. Friday afternoon, just after lunch, Vincent calls. Court hearing scheduled. Next Wednesday morning, with Judge Eleanor Morrison. Says this isn't good news. Judge Morrison has reputation. Strongly against divorce. Makes people go through extensive scrutiny before granting it, if she grants it at all. Arrive at courtroom. Linda and her attorney already there. Case called right away. Take our seats. Bailiff calls for order. We all rise. Judge Morrison enters. Greets us. Turns to me. As petitioner in this divorce case, would you consider dropping this action? Return home to work on marriage? No, Your Honor. Wish to proceed with lawsuit. Consents trouble brewing from her disapproval. But she continues. Mrs. Anderson, do you consent to divorce? Or prefer attempt at reconciliation? Linda responds immediately. Your Honor, strongly oppose divorce. Love my husband deeply. Completely committed to saving marriage. Mr. Anderson, looking at petition, noting grounds of irreconcilable differences, observing remarkably fair settlement proposal, see no usual bitterness of most petitioners. Can you explain this? Your Honor, hold no hatred toward her. Don't want to cause harm. Simply want to end marriage. Because my love has faded. Linda gasps at words. Hint of sorrow in response. Judge continues. Believe strong possibility of resolving your issues with right opportunity, mandating marriage counseling with qualified therapists. 3 joint sessions initially, then 3 individual sessions each. Finally, 2 more joint sessions. Only exception. If counselor informs court, no hope for saving marriage. This is my ruling. Strikes gavel. Next case. Want to object? Vincent holds my arm. Richard, attend first session. See if you reconsider. If not, tell counselor clearly. You want to end things. See where it leads. Counseling session is disaster. Linda cries. Apologizes. Begs to stop divorce. Work on marriage. Counselor listens to me. Doesn't seem sympathetic. About ending marriage. Asks me, Richard, can you explain why unwilling to work on marriage? Dr. Wilson, let me tell you a story. Not fiction. Might sound like fairy tale. Was at company Christmas party. Saw a woman across room. Ever heard of love at first sight? That's what happened to me. Boss introduced his goddaughter, Linda. Knew she was the one. Glance at Linda. See her smile. First one since tears moments ago. She seemed perfect for me. I was perfect for her too. Because shortly after, we became deeply involved. 3 months later proposed. From then on, didn't look back. Believe we were flawless. Small sigh escapes. Almost a sob, but not quite. Continue speaking. It was love at first sight, Dr. Wilson. Wasn't gradual growth. Happened instantly. Love at first sight. Think that reveals anything about my psychological makeup? Believe it does. If love can happen at first sight, then falling out of love can happen instantly too. Linda was out with another man. Says nothing happened. Inclined to believe her, but fact remains. She was on date with someone else. That's infidelity in any interpretation. Worse, it was Matthew Wilson, my worst enemy. Linda knew. How much I despised Matthew. Knew whole story. About hurting Sophia, yet chose him. To betray our marriage? Adding insult, took him to most significant place. In our relationship, where we first met. Where I proposed. Where we shared countless moments. Where I imagined celebrating her first pregnancy. Birth of our first child. When I saw her there, sitting with Matthew, his hand caressing her face, their glasses clinking, toast and smile on her face, felt like love of my life, betraying me with worst enemy. Heart shattered. Love began seeping away. By time I reached their table, heart already half empty. As I left restaurant, completely devoid of love. Nothing left for a woman who was my everything. So you understand now, Doc, why I can't continue marriage. No love remaining. Won't stay in loveless relationship. Can it be any clearer? Linda openly weeping now. Feel sympathy for her, but doesn't change my decision. Feelings have faded. Want to end marriage. Turn to her. Linda, sorry for causing pain, but can't you understand? Staying married without love. Not fair to either of us. Dr. Wilson interrupts. Our session is done for today. Think we've laid everything out. Believe with individual counseling, we can make progress, potentially mend a relationship. We'll advise judge to continue sessions. Furious at this point. After everything I've said, no way I'm doing more counseling. Delusional to think marriage has chance. Want to counsel Linda? Go ahead. But I'm done. Storm out. Think how anyone can be so blind. 2 days after scheduled date. Get letter from court. 3 dates for individual counseling. Miss first appointment. Get brought before judge. Found in contempt of court. Judge Morrison imposes $500 fine. Warns missing next session. Will lead to imprisonment. Defiantly declare. Won't attend any more sessions. Get locked up as predicted. Skip following session. Police officer arrives. 2 hours later, at my door. Escorts me to county jail. Not pleasant experience. Vincent visits daily. Urges to reconsider. Stay firm in refusal. Third day, unexpected visitor. Former boss Robert. Brief 15-minute visit. Expresses regret about how he treated me. Offers potential solution. Agree to attend counseling. Judge Morrison will release you. Afterwards, we discuss how to resolve situation. Possibility of returning to work? No promises required. Just consider offer. After long time, finally feel sense of positivity. Robert was good friend until Linda fallout. Agree to his request. Promise to consider. Return to Horizon Technologies. Judge arranges first session. For following day, officer takes me home. Waits while I prepare. Escorts to session. Waits till it's done. Session as expected. Psychological probing. Make every effort to cooperate. Afterwards, Dr. Wilson escorts me out. Tells officer, Mr. Anderson very cooperative. Agreed to next session. Week from today, officer warns me. You're free to go home, but miss next week's session. I face Judge Morrison again. Wouldn't want to be in your shoes. She's tough when angry. My advice, don't skip it. Call Robert. Schedule meeting at my place. For following day. Spend entire morning discussing his proposed plan, making all arrangements to achieve our goals. Go out for lunch. Meet again after. Talk about my future. With Horizon Technologies. Robert always respected you. You've been great friend, but have to focus on my interests. Remember my last promotion? You told me stop programming. Said role as system maintenance manager and customer service relations manager. Too vital for coding. I love coding, Robert. Been developing something. Advanced security program. Better than anything on market. By 4 generations. Trust me, it's groundbreaking. Will transform security landscape of our entire country. No ongoing challenges. Retailers faced with hacking. With my new program, that becomes impossible. Just a couple months away. From testing on real company data, ready for implementation. Within 3-4 months, Robert nods. Have Peter and William lined up? For testing? Grin at him. Robert could never fool you. Yes, they agreed to try it. You know they're supporting you. Because of my connection with Peter. Frankly, if my project succeeds, they might leave your side. Robert nods again. Probably right. But how planning to bypass? Non-compete clause in contract? Robert, non-compete only applies if I resign or get terminated for cause. Neither scenario fits. You fired me over marriage, so no issue with non-compete. He smirks mischievously, not trying to be confrontational. Want you back on team? Could have easily made up work-related issues as backup. Chuckle at him. He seems annoyed. That I find it amusing. Robert, I continue, recorded our conversation. When you terminated me, distinctly asked if any work issues led to my dismissal. Your response was clear no. Termination solely about Linda? Not my performance. Have recording of discussion. Why did you record conversation? Robert inquires. Because know you well, understand your feelings for Linda. Knew you'd do everything possible to stop me divorcing her. Fair point, Robert concedes. Press on with Robert. Expect significant profits from new software venture. Ready to share success with you under certain conditions. Will return full-time. Customer service relations stay same, but won't handle system maintenance. Need to hire manager for that. Who reports to me? Due to close alignment with new program? Assuming you want new program, which you'll love, most of my time, about 40%, will be program development. Working full-time for you, being paid for developing this program and future ones, but I retain exclusive ownership. In exchange, you get exclusive license to market them with fixed royalty percentage to me. Might seem bold, Robert, but once you see what I'm working on, you'll understand value. We're going to be very successful. Robert, being shrewd businessman. Accept all terms of proposal. Corporate attorney will contact to formalize agreement, but understand this. If things don't go as expected, reserve right to end arrangement. Want to negotiate higher royalty. In such scenario, next counseling session comes. Skip it again. Just like officer warned, he knocks on my door, escorts me to courthouse, this time in handcuffs, smirks at me. Told you so, buddy. Your luck's run out. Judge Morrison enters courtroom. Can see multiple shades of red. On her face, smoke practically billowing. From her nostrils, fire shooting from eyes. She's furious. Well, Mr. Anderson, appears you've repeated actions. Find you in contempt. Sentence you to 30 days in jail. Linda appears, for unknown reasons. Suddenly exclaims, No, Your Honor. Please don't harm Richard. I withdraw divorce objections. Please grant it. Spare him from jail. Think some spit flew from her mouth. When Judge Morrison replies, Too late for that, dear. He's already serving time. Period. At that moment, leap to my feet. Shout out, Your Honor. Request permission to approach bench. She glares at me. Not permitted to speak directly. That's what attorney is for. Turn to Vincent. Vincent Thompson, you're fired. Now, Your Honor, I'll represent myself. Request permission to approach bench. Approach bench. Linda's lawyer steps forward too. What is it, Mr. Anderson? Your Honor, proposed brief meeting in your chambers to settle entire case. If we have this discussion, everything can be resolved to everyone's satisfaction. Very well, counselors. Meet in my chambers. 10 minutes. Declare short recess. Gavel sounds. Bam. Meet in her office. Express wish for meeting. To be off record. She's reluctant at first. Press on. Address her as Your Honor. Emphasize sensitive nature of issues at hand. After moments thought, she agrees, tells court recorder to leave. Proceed, Mr. Anderson. This is your platform. Your Honor, first and foremost, want to prevent further harm in these proceedings. Please trust me on this. Have reason to suspect misconduct in judicial process. Don't wish harm upon you. Don't want to see your marriage destroyed or Linda's parents' marriage. While feelings for Linda changed, still wish to spare her from unnecessary suffering. No longer love her. Don't wish to remain married. but don't want her world to crumble. Seems you may have inferred I possess evidence of your involvement with Linda's father. Situation necessitates your withdrawal from case. Evidence is undeniable. Quite explicit, must say. Could present it to you. And opposing counsel, if required. Prefer not to. Moreover, if compelled, would reluctantly submit to Judicial Review Board. Hope to avoid such action. As mentioned, aim is to prevent harm. Revelation would devastate Linda. Consequences for your marriages are uncertain. My sole intention is to avoid causing pain. I simply seek my divorce. Glance at Linda's attorney. What are your thoughts? He looks at Judge. Your Honor, always admired your commitment to saving salvageable marriages. While you've been tough sometimes, pardon my directness. Understood your reasoning? If Mr. Anderson's evidence exists, be disheartened to learn of your affair. Even more so, that you didn't step aside from this case, yet like him, wouldn't wish harm upon you. Urge you to grant his divorce. Turns to me. Mr. Anderson, all I ask, sit with Linda briefly. Let her speak to you. You mentioned heartbreak. I empathize, but understand. Linda is hurting too. Just spare her a few minutes. Your Honor, none of this needs to leave room. If you grant divorce, return to courtroom. Judge grants divorce. Approves property settlement. Each keep our investment accounts and 401k plans, plus 50% of savings. Operating expense account will cover all bills until divorce finalized and beyond. Stays under Linda's care. Additionally, Linda gets the penthouse, can live there indefinitely, at no cost, but if she decides to sell, proceeds split equally. Judge amends previous decision, about 30-day jail sentence. Instead imposes $500 fine. Pay it happily. No, she needs to maintain some authority to avoid scrutiny on case. True to her word. Meet with Linda in private interview room, next to courtroom. Once again, she expresses remorse. Admits can't explain her actions. Promises to continue therapy until finds answers. Despite her pleas for forgiveness, declarations of love. Can't reciprocate. I forgive you, Linda, but no longer love you. After a hug, leave room. Sound of her tears echoing down hallway. Over next 6 weeks, focus on developing new security program, almost ready to roll out on Peter and William's system. Week before scheduled trip to Detroit. Linda contacts me. Richie, she begins. Decided to sell penthouse. Received an offer. Reply immediately. Not interested in buying. Proceed with sale. My portion of proceeds can go through my attorney. He'll handle paperwork. Ensure funds deposited into my account. Secondly, why selling? Linda explains. Selling because relocating. Got new job. Won't stay here anymore. Then shares something else. Learned about her father. And the judge acknowledges knows. I didn't intend anyone harm. But revelation still hurts. Needs fresh start. Wish her luck in new job. Bid farewell. 2 weeks later. Arrive at Peter and William's company. Security software package ready for testing phase and live system implementation. Peter greets me warmly. Team's excited about new system. Eager to begin. Richard, let me introduce you to our IT administrator. And there's Linda. Look at Peter puzzled. What's going on? He grins. Linda is our new IT administrator. Sure you know her talent. Confident you can work together to implement new security package. Bit surprised but compose myself. I'll need computer setup. For rest of day, we'll need Linda's help sometimes, mostly preparing package. For installation and implementation, computer needs internet access. Managed to stay professional. Must say, day turns out pleasant. Always saw Linda as a clever, intelligent, witty, beautiful, enjoyable to be around. None of those qualities changed. Pleasant day overall. Always regarded Linda as not only my wife and lover, but my best friend too. So we work well together. Obvious Linda making effort to stay close to me, engage with me, yes, subtly touch me. It's having impact, as mentioned. Always considered Linda my best friend. Truthfully miss her. At 5:30 p.m., say goodbye. Promise to see each other tomorrow. Both leave. Sitting in hotel room. Think deeply. Resolve to take bold step. Access company computer system. Log into my laptop. Yes, you know us programmers. Often include backdoor, just in case need access. Get into personnel records. Obtain Linda's address. Visit wine store. Buy bottle of her favorite wine. Drive to her apartment. Doorman asks about visit. Is Linda Anderson expecting you? No, she isn't. He calls her apartment. No answer. Suggests she might be out. Not returned from dinner. Asked to wait. He directs me to small lounge. Near lobby. Soon spot Linda entering, with man in tow. As they approach elevator, he embraces her, kisses her, gives friendly pat on backside. Doorman snaps to attention, approaches them, says something to Linda, while gesturing my direction. Begin walking toward them. Hear Linda pleading. Oh God, no. Please, no, no, no. Stumbled upon your date again, Linda. Sorry for intruding, but certainly glad I did. Handman bottle of wine. Wishing you both pleasant evening. Exit building. Hear Linda rushing after. Richie, please don't go. Please don't leave me again. But I do. Return to hotel. Email Linda at work. When I walked into Peter's offices, was surprised to find you there. Didn't take long to realize, must have quit your job. Sold the penthouse, moved to Detroit, started working for Peter and William, just to be near me. May sound arrogant, but assumed you want a chance to reconnect with me, possibly get back together. Suppose Robert had part in this, telling you what I was working on and where I would be. Not surprising, really, but don't like him meddling. In my life, regardless, was happy to see you. Honestly, I've missed you. After all, we were great friends. Enjoyed our time together today. Felt really good. Didn't want it to end, so brought over wine to continue conversation away from office. Imagine my surprise when saw you with another man. Rather bewildering, honestly. You went through effort to reconnect with me, yet in short time here, already formed intimate relationship with someone else? Only two explanations possible for that behavior: either not truly interested in reviving our relationship or still entertain idea of being with me while dating other men. Either way, I'm no longer part of equation. Had been doubting my decision to divorce you, but your actions reassure me. Made right choice. What frustrates me is knowing I almost fell for it again. Believing you cared about me. You don't. You only care about yourself. Hope someday you find what truly fulfills you, what brings you happiness. Only thing left to say, don't try to pursue me in any way again. As far as you're concerned, I should cease to exist. Wish you all the best. Send follow-up email about software installation. Second email to Linda. Attached file has instructions for activating security software. 2-word password required to access both file and system. Let you figure out words. If recall our last meeting, at La Marina, should be straightforward. If can't remember, maybe Peter can help. As he heard them too, passwords were broken promises. Those 2 words will always grant access to security system. Admit it was petty, but whatever. Every time she accesses system, she'll remember how she neglected our marriage. I've installed package on server with provided instructions. All you need to do is activate it. Set secondary access codes and passwords for other users. Everything detailed in instructions. If any issues in future, contact Robert. He'll connect you with team I worked with on program, as I'll no longer be with company. Best of luck. Sometimes men who divorce due to infidelity may find younger partner more attractive, more intellectually vibrant than previous spouse. New woman might show stronger passion for intimacy, assure everlasting fidelity. Linda seemed like that before she strayed. Unfortunately, didn't find such woman. After leaving Horizon Technologies, fell into depression. Still received substantial royalties from Robert's marketing of security package licenses. Money loss significance. Found myself in uncharted territory. Severe blow to self-esteem and confidence. First time ever for someone always self-assured. Recognizing need for help, turned to professional counseling. After several sessions, began regaining footing. Continued counseling while longer, felt confident. Back on right path. And no, Dr. Wilson wasn't my counselor. With increased income, approached Sister Sophia, decide to relocate together to new condominium. Sophia still recovering from emotional scars inflicted by Matthew Wilson. While I'm dealing with aftermath of Linda experience, invest in lovely 2-bedroom condo, complete with stunning living room, dining area, top-notch kitchen arrangement, spacious office area, particularly ideal for my needs. Couple months later, meet my sister's friend. Her name was Claire. From that moment on, Claire and I become inseparable. Takes us, well, to really understand each other. Understand what's important, what works best. Get married few months later. Incredibly happy we did. Don't postpone starting family. At moment have 3 wonderful children. Our daughters inherit their mother's gentleness, while our son, the youngest, has gentle kindness, combined with resilience. That doesn't let sisters bully him. Also developed couple other very successful programs that Robert effortlessly promotes. As result, accumulated considerable fortune enjoy spending time with children, sometimes alone with ourselves. Our adventures take us far away, discovering many wonders, trying to convince Claire to have another child, but suspect going to lose this argument. As for Linda, according to Robert, found someone else, got married, apparently still interested in me, but Robert advises her to focus on current life. Many people may object that Linda didn't actually cheat, but I disagree. Intention matters. If hadn't been caught, would have gone for it, which amounts to betrayal. Did I want revenge? No. However, her actions extinguished my love. Sincerely hope she found someone who brings her joy, like Claire brings me. As for her lover, because of whom our marriage broke up, he's in serious condition due to rampant lifestyle, caught disease, now going through difficult times. Isn't that karma? To be honest, don't care. Keep living. Have I wondered why my ex-wife decided to have an affair? Yes, repeatedly. Already have answer. One of my friends, who worked with Linda, told me she just wanted something new, was bored with me, but when asked if she would actually cheat, she only lowered eyes in response.